Shalom, shalom, and his brother Zahaba Yali. Back at you with another cold cut. I'd like to give our praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, right? Double honors to the men out there, right, that are seeing these prophecies come to pass and declaring these prophecies as a watchman in these last days, help sealing the elect by doing the work out there in the highways and byways, right? The mighty four mothers out there guiding their households and raising up their children in honesty and meekness, walking in the law, statutes, commandments. Shalom, shalom, and the mighty children in the world as well, abiding in the law, statutes, commandments under their parents, protection in their household, right? There's going to be a quick cold cut going into who are the Danites, right? Going to the Jews, right? Who are the Danites? Are they southern kingdom? Are they northern kingdom, right? Do they have a gate? Are they part of the 144,000? What's going on, right? Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 48, verse 30. Right? The book of Ezekiel, chapter 48, and verse 30. Right? So Dan, contrary to what people may think, has a gate in the kingdom of heaven. Right? Dan has a gate in the kingdom of heaven. And there's not too much to read about up on Dan. Right? But we're gonna get some of the precepts that that we got on Dan. Right? So let's go to Ezekiel 48:30. And it says, and these are the goings out of the city of the north side, 4,500 measures. And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the 12 tribes, actually like after the names of the tribes of Israel. 3 gates northward, 1 gate of Reuben, 1 gate of Judah and Levi. So the north gate had Reuben, Judah, Levi. And at the east side, 4,500, right? And 3 gates. 1 gate of Joseph. Joseph is Ephraim and Manasseh, right? 1 gate of Benjamin and 1 gate of Dan. So Dan has a gate, right? In this prophecy in Ezekiel 48 chapter, Dan has a gate. And at the south side, 4,500 measures and 3 gates. 1 gate of Simeon, 1 gate of Issachar, 1 gate of Zebulun. And at the west gate, 4,500. With their 3 gates, 1 gate of Gad, 1 gate of Asher, 1 gate of Naphtali. So all of these tribes have gates into the kingdom of heaven, including Dan. All right, so yes, Dan is not a heathen nation. Dan, Danites are Israelites, right? Hey, Samson was a Danite. We read the book of Samson. Let me go to Judges chapter 18 and 1. It's the book of Judges, chapter 18, verse 1. And it says, in those days there was no king in Israel. And in those days the tribe of the Danites sought them an inheritance to dwell in. For unto that day all their inheritance had not fallen unto them among the tribes of Israel. So Danites are Israelites, man. Right? In that day, in that time, they didn't receive an allotted land. Right? So they traveled up to northward to Abel Beth Ma'akah, right, in the north part of Israel, and they settled there. When you read Judges, the 18th chapter, verse 14, all the way down to verse 30, when you read about Micah, in the priest that dwell with him, right, against the Danites, right? So Danites are Israelites, right? And we're going to get into which, tribe, were they southern kingdom, or the northern kingdom, right? But first, let's get the book of Judges, chapter Judges chapter 13, verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zerah, of the family of the Danites, right, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and bare not. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman and said unto her, behold, now thou art barren and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Talking about Samson. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come upon his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb. So this child with Samson has to be a Nazarite from the womb. It's going to tell you, right, he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. So this Danite was a deliverer, right, from Israel in their captivity under the Philistines, All right, so Dan is a part of the 12 tribes. Now let's go to the book of 1 Kings 11 and 34. All right, 1 Kings 11 and 34. Like I said, it's not going to be too long of a cold cut. We're going to touch on some things on Dan. All right, 1 Kings 11 and verse 34. And it says, howbeit I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince out of all the days of his life for David my servant's sake, whom I chose because he kept my commandments and my statutes. But I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand and give it unto thee, even 10 tribes. So 10 tribes represent northern kingdom, as we know. Now let's go to 1 Kings chapter 12 and 15, right? Because who was reigning over the northern kingdom? Rehoboam. Over southern kingdom, Jeroboam reigned over northern kingdom. Rehoboam reigned over southern kingdom. Right, 1 Kings 12 and 15, right? And it says, wherefore the king hearkeneth not unto the people, for the Lord for the cause was from the Lord, that he might perform his saying, which the Lord spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Joram the son of Nebat. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel, and now see to thine own house, O David. So Israel departed unto their tents. But as for the children of Israel, which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rome won't reign over them. So this is the split happening. You have two separate kings ruling over northern kingdom and southern kingdom. Now we're going to see which tribe is Dan, which side is Dan from. Is Dan from northern kingdom? Is Dan for southern kingdom? Because we know that this the tribe split, right? Let's go to 1 Kings 12 and 27. Right, it's 1 Kings chapter 12 and verse 27. And it says, if this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam king of Judah. Right? And it says, and they shall kill me and go against Rehoboam king of Judah. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold, and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And he set the one in Bethel, and the other he put up in Dan. So Dan is part of the northern kingdom, because this king had Israel go off, right? Jeroboam had Israel go off by setting up gods whom they knew not. And one of those areas was in the land of Dan, right? And it says, and this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. So Dan is part of that northern kingdom tribe. Dan is part of the northern kingdom, and they were also part of that diaspora after the Assyrian Empire, right? So now we know that Dan is part of the northern kingdom. What happened with Levi and Judah? They joined with the southern kingdom. All right, let's go to 2 Chronicles 11 and verse 12. All right, 2 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 12. All right. This is the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 11 and verse 12. And it says, and in every city, and in every several city, he put shields and spears and made them exceedingly strong, having Judah and Benjamin on his side, right? Going into the cities of defense. Verse 13, and the priests and the Levites that were in Israel resorted to him out of all their coasts. For the Levites had left their suburbs and their possessions and came to Judah and Jerusalem. So the Levites during that time, when Rehoboam was king, right, basically stopped the work of the Levites, basically told them they couldn't be doing their sacrifices unto the Most High because he had them worshiping and going off into idolatry. So they didn't want to be there. So they left their things, their suburbs, and they migrated all the way down to Jerusalem and joined with Benjamin and Judah, right? And it says, for Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto the Lord. And he ordained him priest for the high places and for the devils and for the calves which he had made. So he made himself his own. He picked his own high priest for his idolatry and abominables. So the priests and Levites all went to southern kingdom, man. Right? So they joined up with southern kingdom. And then now he said you have Dan part of the northern kingdom. Right? Let's go to Numbers 35 and 1. right? Because the Levite portion was to dwell all throughout the land of Israel, right? They dwell all amongst the tribes. They didn't receive an inheritance, right? Allotted land. Let's go to Numbers chapter 35. All right, it's Numbers chapter 35 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab, to Jordan near Jericho, saying, command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of the possession cities to dwell in, and you shall give also unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them. So that's what they had amongst Northern Kingdom until Jeroboam kicked them out from doing their priest executions, right? So understanding that Dan is part of the Northern Kingdom, Dan has been scattered all throughout, man. I was going to the book of Ezra, or you can read the book of Second Ezra, chapter 13 and 40. Let's go back, right? Because now we know Dan was part of the Northern Kingdom. Dan went into slavery along with the Northern Kingdom, right? Dan, hey, you got probably some Danites over here in America, right? And we don't know, right? But we know since they're part of the Northern Kingdom, hey, they went into slavery with the Northern Kingdom, right? This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 40. Right, the book of Second Ezra 13 and 40. These are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, so they came into another land. So this, bring this out to show how, the Northern Kingdom got to America, right? What happened during the Assyrian Empire, what led them, to them coming together and finding this new world called Arshareth, which is America, right? Second Ezra 13 and 40, and Dan was a part of that because Dan was part of the Northern Kingdom, right? Let's go to the book of Ezra 1, verse 1. Dan was part of those 10 tribes, right? This is Ezra chapter 1, and verse 1. Right, it's Ezra chapter 1 and verse 1, and it says, now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled. And the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia. Let me jump down to verse 5. Then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, with all them whose spirit the Most High raised to go up to build the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem. So, yeah, Southern Kingdom mainly, right? Benjamin, Judah, and Levi built the house in Jerusalem, right? That's how you've seen this, as we talked about the split a little bit earlier in 1 Kings, the 12th chapter, 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, right? You have Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, and then the Northern Kingdom, Dan was part of that Northern Kingdom that went into slavery under the Assyrians, right? So Danites are Jews, right? Danites are the Israelites as well. If anybody had any thoughts, if they weren't Israelites, we don't really talk about Dan like that, right? But yeah, Dan is part of the Northern Kingdom. Dan is an Israelite. Are the Israelites? Samson was a Danite. Not too much you can learn about Dan, right? But this was a quick cold cut. I'd like to give our praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, right? And double honors, like I said, to those men, women, and children enduring in these last days, seeing the persecution arising, but holding fast and staying 10 toes, in the faith of the Lord. I like to bid a mighty strong shalom.